Like, if a company did that, you could sue them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was privatized, like if ICE was a private company.
Joe Rogan, the highly influential podcaster and historic Trump loyalist, along with comedian Theo tore into the Trump administration and the Department of Homeland Security today on Joe Rogan's show, The Joe Rogan Experience, which is listened to by millions of people. The pair are discussing a video that was posted by the Department of Homeland Security back in October that utilized a clip of Vaughn before touting their record deportation numbers. Theo Vaughn, previously a vocal supporter of President Trump, seems to be having an attitude shift after the administration has completely gone too far on the deportations, not decreased the price of medicine or food, and have not released any information on the Jeffrey Epstein files. All of which were day one promises by the president, which he has not lived up to. So if you want to see more on how Rogan and Vaughn just absolutely tear into the DHS here, be sure to stick around until the end of the video and make sure you like and comment down below, as well as subscribe to the Really American YouTube channel. So, for a little bit of background, Joe Rogan, if you know him or don't, he's an extremely influential voice in the online sphere. His podcast reaches millions upon millions of listeners, and late last year, he publicly endorsed Donald Trump for President of the United States.
On the eve of the election, Rogan formally endorsing Donald Trump. He announced that decision after his interview with billionaire and Trump ally Elon Musk. Rogan wrote in a post on X last night that Musk, quote, makes what I think is the most compelling case for Trump you'll hear, and I will agree with him every step of the way. And for the record, yes, that's an endorsement of Trump.
Trump and Joe Rogan have been very well connected for many years with a lot of mutual friends, and they have even met on multiple occasions. And Rogan himself has become more of a right-wing figure in the past half decade or so. In addition to always having a libertarian lean to him, he's also become more conservative. So it was no surprise to see him endorse Trump in 2024. However, earlier this year, in the wake of the mass deportations and the silence on the Epstein files, Rogan's perspective seemed to shift.
Sending people to other countries when they can't even speak the language. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
no one with a heart is going to go along with that.
No.
And no one, I did not ever anticipate seeing that on TV on a regular basis.
Me either, man. Me either. It's shocking.
I really thought they were just going to go after the criminals.
Rogan long advocated for the administration to go after illegal immigrants and all of the violent criminals in our country, clearly drinking the Kool-Aid that was fed to him by the far right, and that there were actually these millions of violent extremist immigrants in the country, when in reality, the vast, vast, vast majority of immigrants in this country are honest, good faith, hardworking, amazing people who just came to this country for a better life. Most migrants are good, working class, middle class folk who have been here for 5, 10, 15, 20, upwards of 30 years. They've never committed crimes. They are good, honest citizens. Statistically, migrants to the United States are less likely to commit violent crime than naturally born U.S. citizens. And yet, here's the whole, scare around immigrants being these dangerous people. But we all know in reality that that is not the case, and just something that the administration fed to highly influential people like Joe Rogan. But Rogan seems to be catching on to the reality that this administration is taking things way too far.
But you're a contributing member to the community that up until now has been protected. This is crazy to ask lower income and middle income people who are, kind of getting by, and then all of a sudden you're about to ship them to a country where they've never been. They haven't been since they were 4.
Yeah.
And you're gonna pull up their family and and they've been in the community like that. That shows no heart.
So that's then, but just yesterday, Rogan released an episode of his podcast with comedian Theo who was featured at the beginning of a DHS video in which they did not ask for his permission.
Heard you got deported, dude.
A little background on Vaughn. He has also endorsed Trump. He interviewed him along with a lot of right-wing figures last year in his very influential podcast. He's also interviewed left-wing figures, to be fair to him. Vaughn takes a less direct approach and is not inherently a political figure. He does express his opinions, but he also advertises himself as a guy that doesn't know much. So he is much more interested in listening to perspectives, hearing people out, whether they have an extremely right-wing position like Candace Owens, or whether they have an extremely left-wing position, someone like AOC or Bernie Sanders. Vaughn also was very publicly against the mass deportations of the administration and immediately responded to the video that included him saying, quote, Yo, DHS, I didn't approve to be used in this. I know you know my address, so send a check. And please take this down, and please keep me out of your, quote, banger deportation videos. When it comes to immigration, my thoughts and heart are a lot more nuanced than this video allows. Bye. So adding a little tongue-in-cheek bye in there, saying send a check, but Vaughn here is making a very clear statement that he is not okay with his use in this video and that his ideas around this concept are a lot more complicated than just a simple video showcasing the deportations of thousands, if not millions of people, most of which were not criminals at all. Vaughn also revealed to TMZ that the video scared him and that the clip of him in the video was taken completely out of context.
And like the government put out this DHS video that made me really scared.
The immigration video?
Yeah.
Talk about pulling that out of context. They're so good at that. They just took something that had nothing to do with something else, you making a joke, and then they're like, he's our spokesperson. You're like, what? I didn't sign up for that.
Okay, so we have reached the present. Theo Vaughn and Joe Rogan talking about this incident and laying into the DHS for the absolute bullshit they are spewing here.
But then you got ICE raids where they're taking people that are American citizens and they're scaring the shit out of everybody. And they're
Yeah, dude, they made me the video thing. You see that thing where they put me on the video?
Oh, that was crazy. They didn't even ask you.
Bro, it was really scary for me.
Here is Vaughn admitting again that this was an extremely scary time for him after the DHS used the joke he made over a year ago in their video as if he was endorsing this policy when it had nothing to do with it at all.
It's like a friend, I don't know if she said a friend of mine got deported. I can't remember what she said. But she's like, what, do you have anything to say to him, right? And I was like, bye. You know?
Yeah.
I'm clowning around. I have no idea if it's real or not. I have no idea.
You have no idea. It's literally someone just handed you a phone. And then the Homeland Security, was that what it was?
Yeah, just put it up online. And it was
it
after the
Homeland
Charlie
Security?
Kirk thing. Yeah. And so then I was like super scared, you remember?
Vaughn here then claiming that it was a joke made in jest to a friend whose friend got deported and it was just a quick phone handoff. Oh, say this to this person here. He didn't really know what he was saying. And yes, it was a bit of an edgier joke and not one that I would personally find all that funny, but he is a comedian. So okay, but again, this joke was made in private. It wasn't about the vast policy of the Trump administration, so them using it in this DHS video is completely out of line, and it makes sense that he would want this video to be taken down, this propaganda for the State Department using him without his consent.
I just can't believe they did that with you, where they just put it in there as if like you were endorsing that.
Well, it just kind of, and it was just a scary time. That was the same time as
Who
after
fucking
the Charlie Kirk
greenlit
thing.
that? Who greenlit that?
Probably just some fucking trap beat,
But you know
con
what I'm
artist
saying?
or whatever.
This clip right here was taken near the beginning of their conversation on the topic, and you can already tell that there is a lot of pent-up emotion, especially coming from Rogan, who is fuming at the idea of the administration doing something like this, something so disingenuous and nefarious to someone as honest and open as Theo Vaughn. We then learned the absolute headache that it caused Vaughn and all of the hurdles and things that he had to go through just to get the video taken down.
And then what did you do? You had to formally request them taking it down?
Yeah, I had to hire an attorney to get him help to take it down.
How long did it take to take it down?
I think like 48 hours or something, but it had like 30 million views over a couple platforms.
And how many people even know it was taken down until they just heard you say it?
Of course not.
I knew because you told me, but I couldn't believe it.
And here we learned that it took 48 hours for the DHS to take down that video. And it was seen by over 30 million people. And Theo Vaughn is in the first second of that clip. If you saw the video, you saw Vaughn, and someone would have a takeaway from that video thinking that he is endorsing this behavior and that he's partnered with the DHS or they got his permission to use that video, when in reality, that's not the case at all. I'm sure plenty of people walked away from that video thinking that Vaughn was okay with this and that the comedian was endorsing this, when it is the exact opposite. The reputational damage that this video has caused on Theo Vaughn will probably never be known and is actually kind of unspeakable. And Rogan is slamming the whole point that if this was a private company, Vaughn could have sued the shit out of them, and he probably should have.
Like if a company did that, you could sue them. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was privatized, like if ICE was a private company and that was the people that the United States hired to get rid of illegal immigrants and they used you, you would sue them. You could sue them.
The harm that this video did to Theo Vaughn may never be known, but this whole thing showcases the lack of care and empathy that the government has in this situation, and that they have no time or no empathy for anyone that doesn't directly benefit them. They probably thought that they could get away with using the Theo Von clip in the video and that no one would say anything. But he said no. He publicly bashed them. He said, hell no, take this down. I did not let you use this clip. I did not consent to this. And it scared him and it pissed a lot of people off, Joe Rogan included.
And then I saw it, I was like, oh my God, what the fuck are they doing? It's like, that's not how you envisioned the government. The government made a hype video.
Yeah, they were making like deportation hype videos with trap beats and shit. And I was like, what are we doing? That's what I'm saying. Everything is turned into like the WWE. It's none of it's real.
It's 100% that Mike Judge movie. It's Idiocracy.
Oh, Idiocracy, yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot stress enough how insane it is to see these two men bashing the DHS so aggressively here. Both of these people were large supporters of Donald Trump just 11 months ago, but now here they are torching his Department of Homeland Security and claiming that this whole thing is like WWE and that it's just some sick joke. Trump is losing his loyalists by the day because of his barbaric practices and policies. And here is just another clear-cut example of two very highly influential people online with massive audiences publicly denouncing and shitting on the administration for all of the complete bullshit that they do all the time. But of course, it had to directly affect one of them before they said anything. However, at least it's something. Theo Von and Joe Rogan both draw in a lot of young male voters, practically Trump's strongest demographic in 2024. And clearly these two recognize that there is a large attitude shift happening in the general public. Because it is not the best look to be supporting Trump anymore. It is a highly unpopular position. And if you do, he might go behind your back and twist your words into something you never meant in a highly publicized video. To the administration, these figures are just props. They're just pawns that they can use to get their message out, and they're not too happy about it at all. I think that's going to do it for me for now. Thanks so much for sticking around until the end of the video. I really appreciate it. If you like this video or want to see more like it, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below, as well as comment what you think about Rogan and Theo Von trashing the Department of Homeland Security for this insane thing that they did, as well as do not forget to subscribe to the Really American YouTube channel. Have a nice day.